It is 10 past 6 o'clock. Today's KEEL traffic. Here's Ruben.
It is once again the best time of day to get from A to B because everything is all clear for your early morning drive to work or school. But look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on Texas Street in downtown Shreveport. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Cloudy skies for today and cooler with a high of 46. Patchy clouds tonight, but cold, a low of 29. Lots of sunshine tomorrow and warmer with a high of 61. A spotty shower and some sun on Friday. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm Courtney Spamer.
Good morning. It's 11 past 6 o'clock, 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Your focus down at the other end of the table is, are you focused or are you hypnotized or are you asleep?
I'm focused.
Are you focused this morning?
Focused, yeah.
I was a little late getting here this morning. You probably noticed I had a little mishap at the house I had to take care of.
Uh-oh.
Not to get into too much detail, but you're familiar with the show Dude Perfect?
No, I'm not.
Yes.
Okay, I had a little Dude Perfect mishap that involved wet coffee grounds, and I thought I had it all the way. And let me tell you, it got inside the cabinet and a couple of drawers. I mean, when I miss you're really unfamiliar with Dude Perfect.
I'm unfamiliar.
You need to Google Dude Perfect or go to YouTube and watch Dude Perfect. Not now.
Okay.
We have a show to do. I know how you're sort of singularly focused. Can you imagine she's never seen Dude Perfect?
Yes. I can't imagine that she has never seen Dude Perfect.
What's it about?
I just can't. I can't even begin to explain.
Okay.
In fact, look at the Dude Perfect with Drew Brees.
Dude Perfect with Drew Brees.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll have to watch it.
Did you see the Kay Jewelers commercial?
Yes.
On the Super Bowl?
Yes.
Those are the Dude Perfect guys.
Ah, okay.
They have a show, and that's what they do.
It makes me so mad.
Oh, boy.
They throw stuff, through stuff, around stuff, into stuff. From the top of stadiums, from the top of buildings, from a mile away. That's basically the Dude Perfect show. It's awesome, and I thought I had DP skills this morning. And sadly, I not only disappointed myself, I disappointed my floor.
Oh,
You know, as many shots as you miss in here, what in the hell would ever give you the idea like, oh, I could make coffee grounds into a trash can and not make a mess?
That's not the whole story.
Oh, boy.
You haven't hit this garbage can in here with a wadded up piece of paper in months.
In describing the coffee grounds and the trash can and the throw, and the miss, truth be known.
Boy.
I left out three very, very important words to the tragedy.
Oh, gosh.
Behind the back.
What were you thinking?
How many martinis did you have last night, you idiot?
It was this morning. It
You
was about
idiot.
5:25, and I thought, I got this.
Oh, man.
And I went full bore Pistol Pete. And the next thing you know, I've got to get out the the shop vac.
The squeegee, yeah.
Yeah, it was. So what's happening at schools around Caddo Parish in this case? Bring me up to date. What are the proposals? What are the chances of these things happening? When Dr. Gorey makes proposals, when he says, we're going to change some schools.
It's just changing them back. I mean, Turner used to be a Turner Elementary Middle School, which went all the way through 8th grade.
Right.
And they, about 5 years ago or so, they moved 7th and 8th to Huntington to kind of boost the enrollment at
Turner's
Huntington.
just right here around the corner, right?
Yeah, and so is Huntington.
Okay.
And they essentially are now going to move the 7th and 8th graders back to Turner.
Why do you think that is? I have a theory. And I think you'll agree once I explain. There's really not a lot to explain. I question the wisdom of putting any 7th grade girl anywhere with an 18-year-old boy.
Yeah, they've been there for 5 years.
No, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
though?
I understand.
I just think you're exposed to things. I think there is such a radical cultural advancement. The things you know at 17 or 18. And as we both know, the wisdom, the ability to pump the brakes a little bit at 17 or 18 is somewhat limited. And I'm just not sure that you need a bunch of 7th grade girls hanging out with a bunch of 18-year-old boys. I'm
Well,
just not sure
they're moving them out now. They'd move them back to a middle school.
you do see my point. Believe me, I have no evidence that that's the case.
Right.
Other than stories I hear from a bunch of different schools where that's the case from 1 or 2 parents who have kids there. So
We do have another school closed today because of the flu. Werner Park Academy closed because so many kids have the flu. They're going to be out sanitizing the campus and doing all the stuff they do.
I get the hazmat suits and y'all kids back up.
I got one if you need to borrow it.
You're trying to get rid of that thing, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
We should do a contest and give it away here on the...
Who wins the suit, the hazmat
You
suit?
should set fire to it.
Well, there's that, too.
It is paper.
Make sure Erin's in it first.
Hey!
Here's the deal. I was born, as you know, and raised in East Texas, for a while in the Dallas area, Birmingham, Alabama, Charlotte, North Carolina. I was raised all over the South before we moved here. And that was 67. Then I was gone about 25 years. I lived on the East Coast and up north, which was just 2.5 decades of foolishness. And I moved back here in 95, actually. I've lived through a lot of weird weather. But I got to tell you, the last 10 days to 2 weeks is some of the strangest I've ever seen.
Very strange.
For Mardi Gras for this weekend now don't hold us to this because there's no evidence
Every
that
2 minutes it changes.
there's no evidence that the current forecast will still be in place by, say, 2 this afternoon. But for right now, the projected forecast for Saturday is cloudy, virtually no chance of rain, and middle to upper 60s. For the crew of Gemini Parade Saturday, it's middle to upper 60s and little, if any, chance of rain, but cloudy. Sunday for Highland, highs in the mid-40s with a chance of rain. Have I got that right? Is that what you're looking at?
Yeah.
Tell me what you see. Tell them what you see.
It looks like it's going to be rainy, maybe 50.
On Sunday.
Yeah, on Sunday. It's cloudy with a slight chance of rain on Saturday.
But close to 70.
Hang on a minute. Let me look at where did I put my thing?
We've got it on your computer right in
it's
front of
not
you.
up in front.
She doesn't trust the weather.
I mean, you
She
look
goes
at
to the-
3 different weather sources, and it's 3 different forecasts.
The
one
one-
says it's going to be 20. I mean, it's a crazy.
Well, we had
It's-
lightning.
What we're telling you today
We had lightning last night.
is not going to happen.
Okay, it's February.
So-
I thought it was the Aurora Borealis, for God's sake.
Saturday 68. It does say rain though.
See, mine just says cloudy.
It's got rain, and then Sunday looks cloudy
Snow.
with no rain. 47.
So we have 2 different sources and 2 different forecasts.
yeah, it's
Parky,
very weird.
tiebreaker. Pull up your weather. See what it says.
Well, I, too, have an iPhone. Hold on. Let me go to my website that I normally
Yeah,
go to.
check out a website. And
last.
I got 69 and rainy on Saturday, 45 and rainy on Sunday.
Good Lord. 19 past 6 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL traffic and weather updates right now. Here's Ruben on KEEL.
Looks like I-49 South's got it clear all the way to Alexandria right now, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on I-220 westbound near North Market due to construction. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Cloudy skies for today and cooler with a high of 46. Patchy clouds tonight, but cold, a low of 29. Lots of sunshine tomorrow and warmer with a high of 61. A spotty shower and some sun on Friday. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm Courtney Spamer.
So I was subtly incorrect. 1017 FM 710 Keel. Sports time. No Fletch today. Matt once again.
It's National Signing Day, and the LSU Tigers are hoping to fill their last 6 open scholarships. In December, 21 prospects signed on to wear the purple and gold, but Coach O and company are hoping to reel in a couple more big-name players. Some of the prospects the Tigers hope to bring to Death Valley include cornerback Patrick Surtain, safety Kelvin Joseph, quarterback James Foster, and defensive end Mario Goodrich. The players will announce their commitments throughout the day. Speaking of college signings, Evangel's Ardarius Washington is going to Fort Worth. The bone-crushing safety has signed on to the TCU Horned Frogs. Washington verbally committed to LSU, but changed his mind. Washington isn't the only one who recently had a change of heart. Patriots offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels has turned down an offer to become the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts to stay in New England. McDaniels interviewed and verbally committed to the job months ago, but ultimately decided to stay with Bill Belichick. The Colts say they are disappointed, but will resume their search for a coach they can trust to lead their team into the future. The Saints have released defensive tackle Nick Fairley after not playing in 2017 because of a heart condition. After a standout 2016 campaign, Fairley signed a 4-year, $28 million contract. But after not playing it down in 2017, it remains to see how much of that money he'll receive. And Pittsburgh Steelers linebacker Ryan Shazier got a standing ovation last night at the Penguins game. This was Shazier's first public appearance since being hospitalized for a serious spine injury suffered against the Cincinnati Bengals on December 4th. Shazier is a huge hockey fan and says after being hospitalized for nearly 2 months, he wanted to get out of the house and support his team. From the KEEL Sports Desk, I'm Matt Parker.
.24 Robert and Erin, 1017 FM and 710 Keel at 7:10 this morning. Let me see. At 7:10 this morning, Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser. At 8:10 this morning, State Senator Ryan Gaddy.
Yeah.
And Mr. Ryan was one of the state senators who signed the letter to John Bell calling for a special legislative session. Now, what are special legislative sessions for?
Taxes.
To lower taxes?
Not usually.
Let's give old Rai the benefit of the doubt here. let's assume that he thinks that we have to have a meeting, and I think this is what his explanation will be. You know, if we're not in the same room, if we're not talking, we can't solve the problem.
Right.
And one of the questions we can ask is, why can't you just solve the problem and get together without having a meeting where the purpose is to raise taxes? I don't know.
Me either.
I mean, John Bell and Jay Darden and all those JBZ minions convinced a Republican-dominated legislature a little more than a year ago to do the penny sales tax, which is, by the way, about to go off the books.
Right.
And so according to at least the governor and his guys, we have fiscal cliff. We got to come up with the money.
Yeah.
Now we get back into the $600 million in cuts. You say to Jay Darden a couple of weeks ago, what can you cut? He reads you a list. Do we still have that cut? Do you still have that up on the board, or did you do that specific edit? I don't think
I did that specific edit.
Okay, never mind then. But Jay Darden, when questioned by you, you said, aren't there things we can cut? And Jay Darden says, well, Erin, we have. And you said, like what?
You ultramaroon.
And he starts reading a list. He starts giving you a list.
I think it was a lot of hocus pocus.
He starts giving you a list of all the things that have allegedly been cut. He's reading you, supposedly, a list of what's been cut. $600 million worth. And then it turns out that nearly half of that is delayed payments to Medicaid providers.
Yeah.
Which I said yesterday is like not paying your mortgage in February and saying, well, I just cut $1,000 from my budget.
Right.
No, dude, you still owe the $1,000. No. This is how we do it here. I just cut $1,000 from my budget. Well, how about next month? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. They mixed you up so bad.
Do you think that's the plan?
Yeah.
What did Dodie Horton tell us a couple of weeks ago? What did Dodie Horton tell us last week? In fact, hold on.
You don't know what to believe.
Hold your breath. Let me find it here. Give me a moment because I copied it into my phone last night. We need to talk to Miss Dodie this morning. Hang on just a second.
You said hold my breath.
Okay, you can let go now.
Thanks.
Dodie on her Facebook last night, and I'll just start to read. With Louisiana's budget situation, it's deja vu all over again. There's been much talk recently of the approximately $1.5 billion budget shortfall facing Louisiana. The latest fiscal cliff can be explained by a number of factors, the most important of which is the continued growth of state government spending.
That's where my brain is. Stop growing government.
In the first 2 years in office, Governor John Bell Edwards has requested and received, let me insert from a Republican-dominated state legislature, $1.38 billion in temporary taxes, $754 million in permanent taxes, and tens of millions in new fees, all while growing the state budget by a massive $5.2 million. So we need to add, don't text her now. I know you're busy texting all. I know it's after 6 o'clock and you'll feel, I hate to get such a late start booking guests. We need to track down Miss Dodie for this morning, too.
Okay.
Lots to talk about. To review our list for the day as it stands right now, Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser just after 7 o'clock this morning. State Senator Ryan Gaddy just after 8 o'clock this morning. Maybe John Kay from Americans for Prosperity Louisiana chapter. And who knows, maybe State Rep Dodie Horton from Houghton.
Yep.
29 past 6 o'clock, it's 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. The latest traffic. Ruben looks ready.
Looks like I-49 South's got it clear all the way to Alexandria right now, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on I-220 westbound near North Market due to construction. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Cloudy skies for today and cooler with a high of 46. Patchy clouds tonight, but cold, a low of 29. Lots of sunshine tomorrow and warmer with a high of 61. A spotty shower and some sun on Friday. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm Courtney Spamer.
hour of information. KEEL News now.
A local school is shut down because of the flu. Matt Parker has more.
Werner Park Academy will be closed today due to the flu. The custodial staff will spend the day sanitizing the campus. To help prevent any further outbreaks, school officials urge parents to keep sick children home until they are fever-free for at least 24 hours and to clean all students' personal items, including backpacks, jackets, and lunchboxes. The elementary school plans to reopen tomorrow. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
A road rage incident leads to shots fired. Robert Carrillo and LaDarryl Washington facing charges after the road rage incident turned violent. Caddo deputies say a traffic incident near the Walmart on Northport Boulevard started the violent encounter. Senators are urging the governor to call a special session. A bipartisan group of senators have written the governor urging him to call a special session this month. The group says the state can't wait until March to try and solve the financial crisis. Something needs to be done now. 14 senators signed the letter, including 11 Republicans. The only local senator to sign the letter was Ryan Gaddy from Bossier City. The Caddo School Board could be making some big changes. The board considering turning Huntington High School back into a 9th through 12th grade campus. 5 years ago, the school added 7th and 8th grades to boost enrollment. The board also considering adding 7th and 8th graders to Turner Elementary. The board will vote on the changes next week. Diamond Jack's Casino in Bossier could be moving to South Louisiana. The owner of the casino considering either spending over $100 million to upgrade and expand the facility in Bossier or move to Tangipahoa Parish. Gaming Control Board Chairman Ronnie Jones says any move of a gaming license would take legislative approval, and we all know lawmakers will be busy.
It's going to be a tough session. Those legislators are going to be focused on a budget, and there are going to be some outlier issues. This is one of those. It's got 2 legislative hurdles to overcome. It's a tough road ahead.
Diamond Jack's employs 600 people in Bossier City. The company would also need a yes vote on gambling by the people in Tangipahoa Parish. Baton Rouge Representative Barry Ivey proposing legislation for the regular session that would require state agencies to publish all of their expenditures online for the public. The measure would create a Louisiana checkbook that Ivey says is all about transparency.
We want to give taxpayers the ability to be able to see where every single dollar is spent in state government, not in the aggregate, but on the individual transaction level.
On the federal budget front, a short-term spending measure in the House and a budget pact evolving in the Senate make it less likely the feds will shut down Thursday night. At the White House, President Trump appeared to hold out the possibility of a shutdown if lawmakers don't come up with a deal on immigration. Senator John Kennedy has joined Democratic Senator Tom Carper of Delaware in introducing the Stopping Improper Payments to Deceased People Act. Kennedy says this bill will allow them to trade the information, stopping the waste of billions of dollars.
The federal bureaucracy borrows $1.4 billion a day. And this is a perfect example of why.
Signs posted around South Korea's Olympic venues are urging extreme caution, and some 1,200 people have been told to stay in their rooms because of the norovirus fears. The Boy Scouts of America putting out the welcome mat for girls at a wide range of camps across the country this summer. At some, it will be the first time girls can participate as full members and follows the Boy Scouts' decision last fall to expand girls' participation starting this year. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
1017 FM, 710 Keel, the Keel app, a free download from Office Furniture Source. Mr. John Kay, American Louisiana chapter of Americans for Prosperity, joins us in a couple of seconds. Have either of you seen the story? And I saw it last night, maybe late in the afternoon. And it was one of those iffy websites, one of those ones where, like, is this real? Did this really happen, or is this just one of those made-up stories to speak ill of someone? Have either of you seen the story that Gisele Bündchen told her little kids, i.e. Gisele Bündchen, Tom Brady's wife, that she told they've got 2 younger kids, I think, that the reason the Patriots lost the Super Bowl was because Dad let them because the Eagles had never won before?
Oh, no, she didn't.
Look at that and see. Look it up.
Oh,
and see what you
man.
find. Parky, look at it and see what you see.
I mean, it makes sense. Comforting a small child. Daddy's the greatest. He was nice and let them win.
Could you imagine as a parent? I just can't imagine Erin McCarty ever. That just doesn't seem to be one of your parental concepts. Is it? I mean, can you imagine ever doing that? Yeah, something really bad happened because we wanted it to.
No.
Do you see the story I'm talking about?
No. Daddy won 5 times. They never won before. Gisele teaches kids a valuable lesson.
What's the website you see on that? Is it a well-known?
Boston Globe.
Holy cow! So it's legitimate.
I see it on Fox News. And there's USA Today.
Read what you have. Read the Fox News story. Read the Boston Globe
It was
story.
a tough loss for her husband, the team, and all of Patriots Nation, but Gisele Bündchen kept it positive post-Super Bowl, congratulating the Eagles for their big win and showing her kids what good sportsmanship looks like.
What?
On Monday morning, the supermodel posted a sweet picture of the family, an emotional Tom Brady embraced by Bündchen and their kids. In the post, she saluted the Eagles for their victory.
Yeah, but I want the part about where she told the kids that that the Patriots threw the game.
That's not in this.
Listen.
Hold on. This is the direct quote from her. Just this time, the kids were upset about the loss, and Bündchen told them, quote, just this time, Daddy won 5 times. They've never won before. Their whole life, they never won a Super Bowl. You have to let someone else win sometimes. We have to share.
I see the "we have to share" quote.
But Fox News did more of a opinion piece on this.
Of a hit piece?
Not necessarily a hit piece, although they do rip Gisele up pretty good.
What's the headline?
It's Gisele's Super Bowl lesson. Did the Patriots really let Eagles win?
You have to let someone else win sometimes is in her quote. You have to let someone else win.
639, 1017 FM, 710 Keel traffic and weather updates right now.
Looks like I-49 South's got it clear all the way to Alexandria right now, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on I-220 westbound near North Market due to construction. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Cloudy skies for today and cooler with a high of 46. Patchy clouds tonight, but cold, a low of 29. Lots of sunshine tomorrow and warmer with a high of 61. A spotty shower and some sun on Friday. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm Courtney Spamer.
Eric was
Good morning, 641. It's Robert and Erin, 1017 FM, 710 KEEL. KEEL app's a free download presented by Office Furniture Source. John Kay is the boss man. Louisiana chapter, Americans for Prosperity. Hey, Mr. John, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
Well, before we get into this Louisiana checkbook idea, got a lot of questions about that. What is, because you spend a lot of more time around those Baton Rouge politicos than do Erin and myself. What is the mood? What's being said sort of behind the scenes about, let me see, there was the NOLA.com article this weekend about a budget cut is $3 million in delayed payments to Medicaid providers. Or the Jay Darden audio that's going around, how he explains finance swaps to sort of shell game $600 million in cuts when it's really not. Is this a house of cards from the Edwards administration, and is it starting to collapse a little bit?
Yeah, I think that there's probably a general disagreement and discontent among those on the right in the legislature regarding what the governor calls a cut. I think that you could probably identify a couple of things in there that we might call cuts. That would probably be something along the lines of a cut to TOPS a couple of years ago or a year ago. But a lot of the other things are stall in the growth of budget of the state budget, which is not something that a typical person would call a cut. It's not something that reduces the size of government.
Yeah, like I'm going to delay paying my mortgage.
It just not even that. It prevents the growth of state budget. So it prevents you from adding on to your DirecTV package in a given month. It prevents you from spending more on that than you currently spend. You just maintain where you are. That's what the governor is referring to as a cut. And I think there's just a big difference between definitions between some of the legislature and the governor.
Later this morning, we are going to have State Senator Ryan Gaddy in studio. And he was one of the senators who signed a letter, I think it went to John Bell, calling for a special session. Is special sessions that raise taxes. I'm not sure Mr. Ryan's going to come in here and say I'm for raising taxes, but what other could this be nothing more than a compromise get together? Are you hearing the possibility of the governor actually calling for that session?
I think he will probably call for the session. Whether or not it's a compromise get together, I don't know. If they're going to come in just to powwow, that's a pretty expensive way to do it. But the question that I have is pretty simple. The price of oil is going up, which means that the state coffers are going to get more money. Mm-hmm. And federal tax reform, we still don't know exactly how much money that's going to bring into the state. Why would they go into a special session to raise money for a budget that hasn't been passed? We don't know what it's going to look like. We know what the governor presented, but it almost always changes. So we're going to raise taxes for a budget that hasn't passed against money that we don't even know how much we have coming in. The REC meets in March. They haven't met yet regarding the tax reform and some of the oil changes. Why would the legislature want to go in now and raise taxes now rather than wait and see what all they're dealing with, see what kind of budget they have, see what kind of revenue they have coming in, and meet, if they have to meet, which I'm not even sure that they would have to, if they have to meet in June later on when you know the full picture, you know exactly what you're dealing with.
Let's talk about LouisianaCheckbook.com. This is an amazing idea. Ohio's got one that is just simply crazy good. It opens the door wide open so we can see everything government's doing. Describe the purpose.
I love it. All right, so this is something that my wife's going to kill me for telling y'all this. Whenever I presented the idea to her, she just looked at me kind of puzzled and said, "You mean this isn't something that we already have access to in Louisiana?" And I said, "No, it's not. But simply what it is it is rather than general budget categories where the state spends money, it's an expenditure level explanation of how the state of Louisiana spends every dollar, but not even just the state of Louisiana, the judicial branch, the legislative branch, and local government, how they spend every dollar in state government. It's just a way for people to keep their government accountable to them. But it's simple to read. It's simple to digest and understand. It's graphs. It's exportable to Excel. You can see when they bought a pack of pencils at Office Depot.
Oh, wow.
You can see everything. It's probably too much information for some people, but it's stuff that I think that if the legislature passes this, the people will see that they're serious about fiscal reform. They're serious about doing what's right by the people of Louisiana.
I guess my first question would be, and it's sort of a rhetorical one, why on earth would you need a law to start a website where people can see how the state spends their money? It seems to me that maybe we ought to be doing this already, yeah?
We should, and we have a website that does some of it called Track, but it's clunky, it's difficult to use, and it has incomplete information. What we want, and really what I think Louisianans deserve, is just a simple state-of-the-art way to track government spending, especially in a time where we have yearly debates and arguments about the size of the state budget, about tax increases. Let's just open the book. Let's just show Louisianans where the money is being spent. I think that if the governor or the legislature want to justify raising taxes, which again I would disagree with, they should come to the people of Louisiana and really make their case by saying, we have nothing to hide. We're going to show you everything.
I mean, if you look at ohiocheckbook.com, and that is the website on which the louisianacheckbook.com will be sort of modeled, it's I got to tell you, my IQ is about 85, and I can follow this thing pretty darn easy. My brain doesn't explode or anything like it's Sudoku. So I can't, if ours is modeled along the lines of the Ohio model, it'll be a fascinating look into how government operates.
It absolutely would be. And I would disagree with you. I think you're a slightly smarter guy than you give yourself credit for. But anybody can understand this. You can really dig in deep. I think oftentimes government transparency leads to government accountability. I don't remember who said that in the past week or so, but I think that's really one of the best ways to put it. Once government puts everything out there and gives everything to the people for them to see, I think that long term we're going to have better government accountability and a better, more full conversation about the picture of the state budget and where these cuts can and can't be made, because we know where the government's spending money.
Our last 30 seconds, the Ohio treasurer runs theirs. Is that how we would do it here? And is that another level of bureaucracy you're adding?
I would very much like for the state treasurer of Louisiana to at least have an oversight role over this website. Whether or not he runs it or not, I think it's something we have to discuss during the process. But I think that it is most naturally housed at the treasurer's office, yes.
LouisianaCheckbook.com. It's sort of in its formative stages, but folks can go to that website and take a look. And the list of people who have already endorsed this idea is not unimpressive. John Kay, Louisiana chapter of Americans for Prosperity. Thank you, Mr. John. A pleasure as always.
Thank you. Take care.
649, 1017 FM, 710 KEEL traffic update. Ruben's here.
Everything's still running nice and smooth for your early morning drive to work or school. But look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on McDade Street near Barksdale Boulevard in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline, 687-ROAD.
KeelAccuWeather.com forecast cloudy, a chance of rain again through the day today, and cooler. The high today may not even hit 50. Look at middle 40s. Right now 41 at KEEL. 1017 FM, 710 Keel. Time for sports. Here's Matt.
It's National Signing Day, and the LSU Tigers are hoping to fill their last 6 open scholarships. In December, 21 prospects signed on to wear the purple and gold, but Coach O and company are hoping to reel in a couple of more big-name players. Some of the prospects the Tigers hope to bring to Death Valley include cornerback Patrick Surtain, safety Kelvin Joseph, quarterback James Foster, and defensive end Mario Goodrich. The players will announce their commitments throughout the day. Speaking of college signings, Evangel's Ardarius Washington is going to Fort Worth. The bone-crushing safety has signed on to the TCU Horned Frogs. Washington verbally committed to LSU, but changed his mind. Washington isn't the only one who recently had a change of heart. Patriots offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels has turned down an offer to become the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts to stay in New England. McDaniels interviewed and verbally committed to the job months ago, but ultimately decided to stay with Bill Belichick. The Colts say they are disappointed, but will resume their search for a coach they can trust to lead their team into the future. The Saints have released defensive tackle Nick Fairley after not playing in 2017 because of a heart condition. After a standout 2016 campaign, Fairley signed a 4-year, $28 million contract. But after not playing it down in 2017, it remains to see how much of that money he'll receive. And Pittsburgh Steelers linebacker Ryan Shazier got a standing ovation last night at the Penguins game. This was Shazier's first public appearance since being hospitalized for a serious spine injury suffered against the Cincinnati Bengals on December 4th. Shazier is a huge hockey fan and says after being hospitalized for nearly 2 months, he wanted to get out of the house and support his team. From the KEEL Sports Desk, I'm Matt Parker.
Hey, it's Dalton.
.656, Robert J. Wright, Erin McCarty, 1017 FM and 710 Keel. I hear giggling from your end of the table.
Our buddy Chris Redford,
yeah,
he just posted something. The Circle K lady called me baby. I'm so angry. I love that. When just strangers at a random place call you honey or sweetheart, it drives me crazy.
Why? It's just a southern. It's a southernism for
it's not.
You don't see it that way.
No, if you're over 80, maybe.
No, I don't see it that way at all.
No, don't call me baby or honey or sweetheart or sugar. Stop.
All right, Sugar, we got to go to break here.
656, 1017 FM, 710 Keel.
Sorry, Matt.
Sweet Erin McCarty joins us again.
Calm down.
Sweet Erin McCarty with news just a couple of seconds away. Right now, Rush on KEEL.
Since the release of the Devin Nunes memo, the Washington Post ran an article headlined, "Once the Party of Law and Order, Republicans are now challenging it." They accused Republicans of conducting a concerted assault on the FBI, the Justice Department, and other agencies based on conspiracy theories. Now, of course, they found a never-Trumper establishment Republican to agree, Steve Schmidt, who ran McCain's campaign in 2008. Schmidt says Republicans have become completely unmoored from things they once held sacred, including a fidelity to the country's security institutions. The article also mentioned polls showing that Republican voters have less confidence in the FBI. According to Gallup, only 49% think the FBI is doing a good or excellent job, compared to 62% 4 years ago. Now, this isn't hard to figure out. People have read the text between anti-Trump FBI agents plotting against Trump during the campaign. Informed voters know that FISA warrants were issued on Trump campaign associates based on a fraudulent dossier paid for by Hillary Clinton with help from the FBI. Republicans are not challenging law enforcement. They are challenging corruption of law enforcement that festered under Obama. The idea that Republicans are no longer the party of law and order is the kind of vapid analysis you would expect from a snowflake late-night TV comic, not the Washington Post, until recently. Now all bets are off.
American Ground Radio, where building a better America begins with building a better us.
Every single person has the opportunity, the chance, the risk to be corrupted when they get power.
You mean if they're not already oriented in the mindset that they are a public servant?
Return each weeknight from 6 to 7 p.m. with Louis R. Avalone and Stephen Parr on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, and streaming live at KEELnews.com.
Just received reports of a minor accident on East Bercoons Industrial Loop near East 70th Street. And we have some traffic delays on Airline Drive just south of I-220 in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline at 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast, mostly cloudy today and cooler with a high of 46, partly cloudy tonight and cold, a low of 29. Warmer tomorrow with sunshine and a high of 61, partly sunny with a spotty shower on Friday. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm Courtney Spamer.
Breaking news and trending talk. This is 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. KEEL, Shreveport.